Branding and marketing is vital for the success of every business. The absence of branding and marketing, your business is likely to fail. What the statistics are showing is that in 2021, we had 20.8% of business startups that failed. In 2022, we had 40% of business startups that failed. And in 2023, we have 49.9% of business startups that fail. Now, one of the reasons why these businesses would have failed is largely because there were no marketing, there were no research, there were no intelligence to inform those businesses' decision. Today, what we will do a deep dive into the role that branding and marketing plays in helping your business to be successful. Today, we will look at some definitions of branding. We will look at some definitions of marketing. We will also be looking at what is known as brand visibility. Today, I want us to go deep into brand visibility. And under this heading, we will be talking about the brand, the audience, and the media. These are important concepts that you want to take away from today's program. Today, with me in the studio, I have my colleague, and of course, he is an economist by profession. He is also a leader by profession, and he is a rising star as an author. So he has his books that he will be also sharing with us as time progresses. Hi, Frank. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Good to be
For
here.
some, Great to have you. For some reason, I'm just getting a black screen. So exit and come back in, and let's see what happened.
Really? Okay, I'll do that. Let me exit.
All right. So while my colleague exits and return, I will play some ads. So listen to the ad. And I want you to call a friend and tell a friend that the business boot camp is on and we have some goodies, some giveaways for you today. So stay tuned.
Become an influencer, it gives you the edge that separates you from the competition. The GIP initiative, the Global Influencers Partners Program, is designed to expose you to over 5 billion potential consumers across the world. When you are a rising star in business and you need visibility, reach, impact, client conversion, and cash flow optimization, positioning yourself to become a global influencer may be the ideal tool that you need in your arsenal to win in business. I encourage you to join the GIP initiative and position your business to build confidence, trust, and credibility and cash flow optimize the fastest.
All right. Welcome back, audience. And Frank, good to have you
Hey,
back. I can see you much clearer now. Now, in starting today's program, I want to do a deep dive into definitions of branding because I do believe that very often the rising star in business do not have that clear mental picture in terms of what a brand really represents. Now, there's corporate brand and there's personal brand. The possibility exists as you dig deeper, you might even find product branding. But what exactly does all of this represent? In the simplest of terms, the branding process has to do with how you want to be known, how you want to be liked, and how you want to be trusted. So it's about how you position yourself to master this entire ecosystem, the ecosystem of how you're going to be present yourself, how you want to be known, and how you want to be liked. Now, it is your ability to do this that will help you to make impact as the brand manager, as the brand leader. Now, very often is building a brand is not just about waking up and just making the decision that I want to build a brand. To build a brand, you have to hold yourself accountable to some very high standards. And I'm just going to go through some of those standards that you need to consider. Building a brand, the brand is not necessarily being built for you. All right. If even you're building a personal brand, the building that personal brand is not exclusive to you, because building that brand will be has to be influenced by the impact that you intend for that personal brand or the corporate brand, to the impact that you want it to have on your audience base. If you're building that brand and it's only focused on you, and it's not focusing on how it's going to impact the ideal client, there lies a challenge. And it's based on this, as you set out to build your brand, personal or corporate brand, you want to be guided by data. So the very first concept that you want to be considering when you're attempting to build a brand is collecting the right information. And there's a number of information that you need to collect. For example, who's your ideal client? And what are those needs, wants, and expectations of the ideal client? You want to collect this information because as you build the brand, you want that brand that you're building to be 101% relevant to the needs, wants, and expectations of the ideal client. So, step one, you must focus a lot on collecting sensitive data. Now, as you collect sensitive data, step two is to analyze the sensitive data. The reason you want to analyze the sensitive data is to ensure that you're giving yourself the opportunity to make proper and accurate assessment of that database. Now, once you would have analyzed that sensitive data, it now allows you to apply that sensitive data. Now, the application of that sensitive data has everything to do with how you're going to build products and services, and how you're going to build those products and services to reach the expectations of the ideal client. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to also add here. Is that building a brand, you also have to keep in mind if you are building your brand to appeal to the high net worth consumers. All right. And again, as you do the analysis, as you collect the sensitive data, analyze the sensitive data, leverage the sensitive data, mitigate the sensitive data, you are all asking yourself how much of the approach that you're using to build that brand, how much of it really relates to the ideal client. So this is just a high level overview of what building that brand should take into the factors that should be taken into consideration when you're attempting to build a brand. Building a brand is not, waking up and say that I want to build that brand. You need data as you set yourself up to build a brand. But just like I'm going to hold the brand manager accountable to collecting data, analyzing data, leveraging data, and mitigating data, I will do the same when I begin to speak on the role of marketing in positioning business to be successful. And I will do the same when it comes to media effectiveness, because as you build a brand, you want to get involved in marketing. But marketing could be not, as you build your advertising content and get into marketing, there's no guarantee that you're going to achieve the marketing objective. And I will tell you exactly why you will not achieve the marketing objective if you do not hold the entire ecosystem accountable to what we refer to as predictable outcome. So I'm going to pause here for now, and I'm going to pass control to Frank. But just before I pass control to Frank, I want to say that today's program is sponsored by the Business Business Success Blueprint, and they have a giveaway for the general public today. I will talk about it just after Frank would have made his presentation. So I want you to stay tuned because we have some giveaways for you rising stars in business. Frank, all to you.
Hi, thanks, Gary.
Welcome,
Good
my
morning
friend.
to all who are listening. This morning, I want to take a leap into leadership branding and marketing. Why leadership branding and marketing? Because they are two of the crucial aspects of developing a strong personal or organizational business identity. It also develops your reputation, it develops your influence. I want to break down each concept and explain how they intertwine. Leadership branding involves crafting and promoting a distinct identity for a leader or an organization's leader. It's all about defining what makes a leader unique, what values they stand for, and what they bring to the table. And some key points in that are the first is self reflection and identity. Every leader needs to understand him or herself, understand what their values are, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and what they want to be known for. So this involves introspection in order to determine your leadership style, your leadership vision, and your leadership purpose. Then there's a definite defining a core value, and core values are the guiding principles that shape decisions and actions. And every leader needs to identify these values and ensure that they align with their organization's values. And then you need to build a narrative. You need to craft a compelling story that communicates the leader's journey. What were the leader's successes? What were the challenges? And the growth of the organization and growth as a leader. And this narrative should resonate with the stakeholders, your employees, your customers, and the public at large. You have to be consistent because consistency is key to building trust and credibility. Every leader needs to ensure their actions, their communications, their behaviors align with that brand identity. You need to be visible. You need to establish a visible presence through thought leadership, through speaking engagements, the social media, and other channels, which helps reinforce your leadership brand. And of course, you have to get a feedback and adaptation. So you regularly seek feedback from your stakeholders in order to gauge how the leadership brand is perceived. Then you need to adapt and refine as necessary to stay relevant and authentic. In a nutshell, that's what branding is. Let's look at leadership marketing. The marketing aspect of leadership focuses on promoting the leader's brand, promoting the leader's expertise, and what are the leader's influence to key audience. It involves a strategic communication and engagement strategy, and here's how it works. You need to have a content creation. So you're developing high quality content that showcases the leader's knowledge. What are the insights? What are the thought leadership? And this could include your articles, whatever your writings are, your blogs, videos, podcasts, white paper, whatever the social media posts, whether in LinkedIn or one of those social media, and you must have a social media presence. So if you leverage the social media platform to share content, you need to. This will allow you to engage with your followers. It will allow you to participate in discussions and then build a community around the leader's brand. What about speaking engagements is necessary? You speak at conferences, your webinars, events which will establish your credibility and reaches a broader audience. Virtual events have become especially prevalent and they're easily accessible. Networking is also a must. You need to cultivate relationships with your industry peers, with the influencers. Um, Teenagers play a great part in this, media personnel and stakeholders. And networking opens doors for collaboration, open doors for partnerships, open doors for opportunities for your exposure. Your public relations, work with PR professionals. You see, when you work with PR personnel, they will manage, they will be able to manage the media relations, your press releases, they manage your interviews, they even manage your reputation as in management. And if you have positive media coverage, it will enhance your visibility and your credibility. Of course, for your employee, you have employee advocacy. You need to engage your employees as your brand ambassadors who share your message, will share your values within the organization and even externally. Now, we will integrate branding and marketing. Alignment. You need to ensure that the leadership brand or the branding efforts of the leader align with the marketing strategies, the messaging, the tone, values should be consistent across all the channels that you use. Authenticity. This is crucial in both branding and marketing. Leaders have got to stay true to their values and avoid appearing contrived or inauthentic. Use data-driven approach. Use the analytics to track the impact of branding and marketing initiatives. You measure engagement, measure sentiment, look at your reach. Um, what are your conversations or conversions to refine strategies? Adaptation, market trends, audience preferences, the industry landscape evolves. Leaders must be agile and ready to adapt their branding and marketing strategies accordingly. You must have a long term vision. You see, when you're building a leadership brand and effective marketing strategy, this is not just about for today or tomorrow, this is about for decades to come. So it has to be a long term investment and it requires lots of patience. You need to be you need to have perseverance and a commitment to continuous improvement. So by combining the leadership branding with effective marketing strategies, leaders can enhance their influence. They can build a loyal following. They can attract top talent and thereby driving organizational success. Over to you, Gary.
All right, thanks, Frank, for that share. That was some detailed information as relates to marketing and branding. So I really trust that the listening audience are taken away from what is being shared today. Now, as promised, today's program comes to you with a kind compliment of Business Success Blueprint. It's a new program that is designed to really help you to understand the elements that will help your business to be more successful. So the first concept that you're introduced here is what we call the proactive leaders ecosystem. Now, what I want to do, I just want to point you to the website. I want you to go to the website that is currently on your screen, which is the bestseller portal. And when you go to that website, I'm going to navigate you through this platform. What you will see, this is the website that is currently on screen. The first thing that you will see is 1 Degree to Success. I want you to scroll down from this program, and the second program that comes up here is where you will have the Business Success Blueprint. Now, this is an exceptional program. Why? Because this program will help you to understand uh, a number of important concepts that you need to learn to apply and master when you want to be successful in business. For example, in this program, you will be introduced to what is critical thinking and your strategic team. Your strategic team is your board of directors. And do you really have the critical thinkers at this level? Some of the things that this program is likely to go into is not only capital access, but also capital leverage and capital mitigation. One of the gaps that we have seen is that your CFO might be excellent
Hmm?
in managing the accounting factors in relation to the business. But what we are seeing is that a lot of monies are left on the table, largely because there is not no expertise that's going to help you to mitigate debt. Mitigating debt means that you're able to reduce your debt costs, reduce your debt life cycle, and save so much of money on that portfolio. So this is just one concept that you are likely to walk away from with this program. Along with this, we will talk to you about critical thinking and your tactical team. Your tactical team in this case is going to be your middle managers, all right? Your public relation managers, marketing manager, HR manager. They need to be trained in a particular way to complement the organization that wants to be a trendsetter in business. And they will be exposed to this body of knowledge to help them along those lines. They will also be exposed to what is known as critical thinking and operational leadership. This too is important. All right. Two other important concepts that they will be able to take away is what we call the influencer economy. One of the fastest way to cash flow your business is by ensuring that you incorporating personal branding in the form of influencers into the organization and ensure that you can optimize your effective use of the media, of social media. There's social media platform that we can help you to get onto that has over 2 billion potential consumers on those platforms. So if your business is not utilizing social media as a means to market your brand and position your brand in front of the ideal client, this is a tremendous missed opportunity. So this program is designed to really help you to understand that. We will also be looking at elements of capital markets. Now, as we look at elements of capital market, we will not look at the entire capital market ecosystem. But coming out of this program, you will learn more about finance and how to access capital. Now, let me give an icing on the cake here. With this program, you will also be exposed to our BFC. What our BFCs will do, they will help you to understand multiple financial instruments. They will help you to access multiple financial instruments for your business, and they will also help you to understand smarter ways to mitigate debt. Another icing on the cake, guess what? This program is absolutely free. All right. For a limited period, it's absolutely free. So I want to encourage you to go to this website, and all you need to do is to click on this photo that you're seeing right here, this ad. Just click on it, and it will take you straight to the page where you can now register for this program. All you need to do is to put in your details, and this will be a free program for you. And this is what the business success ecosystem in collaboration with Global Capital Inc., 10X Branding and Marketing LLC out of New York is currently offering to the general public. So my advice is take action and take it now. Now, coming back to today's program, I want to now give a definition of marketing because, as was established earlier in this program, if you're in business and you don't have a well developed marketing program, that business is likely to fail. All right. Your business is not necessarily failing because you don't have a good idea or you don't have a good brand. Your business is failing because you do not understand how to apply marketing tools. Now, what exactly is marketing? And let me give a simple explanation of what I'm saying here. To be good at marketing, you must master a number of tools. You need to master strategies. Strategy means a whole lot of things. There's a number of strategies that you can use: quality strategy, pricing strategies, positioning strategies. You have all of these things to your disposal, and you want to use it to your advantage. So there's someone in your organization that should understand how to leverage the marketing ecosystem. So you have strategies, you have tools, you have processes, and you have systems that you need to use to influence desired results for that business. Now, what are some of the desired results that you have for your business? You want the business to be visible. You want the business to reach the ideal client. You want your brand to make impact. You want the brand to client convert. You want your business to cash flow optimize. You want to be able to build confidence and trust and credibility in the eyes of the public. Now, marketing provide you with the tools to achieve all of this, but it's not automatic. All right, there's a lot that needs to be understood and to be effectively deployed to give you the desired results that you want. What are some of the other outcomes that you want with marketing? You want high reward. You want measurable results, predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy. Now, as you come deeper into some of our programs, we really talk to you about the art and the science of marketing. Because if you are not seeing marketing in terms of art being the tools, the processes, the systems that you're going to be using to achieve the objective, you're likely not executing on marketing the way you should be executing on marketing. And if you're not implementing marketing, if you're not seeing marketing in terms of science that allows you to get high reward, measurable results, predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy, again, the possibility exists that you're not going to get the results that you're looking for in marketing because you're not trained to see marketing in terms of arts and in terms of science. What are some of the predictable outcomes that you want? You want visibility, because if you're not visible, you don't reach the ideal client. Visibility doesn't necessarily convert into reach. Reach doesn't convert into impact. Impact, if the impact is not structured to be aligned to the ideal client, impact doesn't convert into client conversion. And if you're not getting client conversion, you're not cash flowing optimizing. And if that is happening, the business is hemorrhaging, and the business is going to fail over a period of time. So what I will do, largely based on the fact that brand visibility is vital for the success of the business, I will spend the rest of my time here today doing a deep dive into what exactly is branding and what are those things that you need to consider as you build a brand and you now engage or take practical steps to build the visibility of that brand. Again, I'm doing all of this because the fact that if you build a brand, but then you don't understand marketing, the business is going to fail. If you build a brand and you don't have the predictabilities that I would have talked about early on, you want high reward, measurable results, predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy. If you don't have the strategies to help you to attain this, your business again is likely to fail. So what I will do, I will pass control to Frank, and when I come back, I will walk you through a step-by-step process that will help you to understand what I call elements of marketing. And the element that we're going to be looking at today is brand visibility. Under this heading, we will cover things like the brand and what you need to really understand about the brand. We'll be covering things like the audience important things that you need to understand about the audience. We will cover things like the media and important things that you need to understand about the media. And then we will look at, as we look at media, of course, we will look at some strengths and weaknesses, and we will look at how you can exploit some of these strengths to your advantage, to cash flow optimize, to connect with platforms that you can have now access with over 2 billion persons. Now, we're on those platforms and we know how it works. I have been I have been partnering with some international platforms, and we have been seeing significant results, and we want to share some of those wins with you. So you, as a rising star in business, you can now take that leap and position your business for greatness. Remember, visit the bestsellerportal.org and get registered for this program, the Business Success Blueprint. You will learn one of the first elements of the business success ecosystem, which is Proactive Leaders Ecosystem, and you don't want to miss it. It's a free program, so I encourage you to get registered today. Frank, all to you, my friend. You're mute.
Good. You hear me now? Let's take a look at the role of branding in whatever your marketing strategy is. Branding plays a crucial role in the overall success of a marketing strategy. It goes beyond just creating a logo or a catchy slogan. It's about shaping the perception of your business in the minds of your target audience. Let's take a look at some key reasons why branding is essential in your marketing efforts. First, it presents differentiation. In a competitive market, branding helps your business stand out. It sets you apart from the competitors. Um, how does it do that? It's by highlighting what makes your products or service unique. Effective branding communicates your brand's values. What are your brand's personality and what customers can expect when they choose your offerings over those of others. It also helps in building trust and credibility. You see, a strong brand inspires trust. And when customers recognize your brand and have positive association with it, they are more likely to trust all your products, all your services. And consistency in branding, from your logo to your message and your customer experience, it builds credibility over time. You must have an emotional connection. You see, brands that evoke emotions create lasting connections with customers. And emotional branding can lead to customer loyalty and advocacy. So, by aligning your brand with values and emotions that resonate with your target audience, you can create a loyal customer base. Recognition and recall is where memorable branding makes it easier for customers to recognize and recall your business. This is especially important in a crowded market area where consumers are bombarded with choices. So, a strong brand identity, including visual elements like logos and your color schemes, aids in instant recognition across various markets or marketing channels. Your premium pricing and perceived values is a well established brand can command premium pricing. When customers perceive that your brand valuable, trustworthy, they are often willing to pay more for your products or services because branding helps create a perception of quality, even if competitors offer similar at lower prices. You must have consistency across the touch points. Whether it's your website, social media, how you package, what customer service are being offered, Branding ensures a consistent experience for customers at every touch point because the consistency reinforces your brand's identity and message. It makes it easier for customers to understand what your brand stands for. Supporting marketing efforts is a strong brand serves as a foundation for all your marketing efforts. It provides a clear direction for marketing campaigns, a clear direction for messaging, a clear direction for creative elements. Because branding helps in creating marketing materials that are cohesive, that are compelling, and they resonate with your target audience. Branding will also facilitate expansion and growth because as your business grows or expands into new markets, a strong brand simplifies the process. And then customers familiar with your brand, they are more likely to embrace new offerings or expansions. A well defined brand architecture allows for easy introduction of new products or services under the umbrella of your brand. Branding attract talent and partnerships. Any reputable brand will attract top talent who want to be associated with successful and respectful organization. So strong brands will also appeal to potential partnerships, appeal to collaborations and sponsorships because partners seek to align with brands that share with their values and audience. There's long-term value and sustainability. Investing in branding is an investment in the long-term success and sustainability of any business. So once you have that well-crafted brand strategy, it can endure market fluctuations and changes in consumer preferences. Brands that have stood the test of time, they often have loyal customer bases and the ability to adapt to evolving market conditions. So in my conclusion, branding is not just about logos and colors. It's about creating a compelling identity that resonates with target audience, that builds trust, that sets you apart from your competitors. A strong brand forms the foundation of your marketing strategy, which drives customers' loyalty. It brings revenue growth and assures long-term success.
You those were definitely some strong points, Frank. I love that you really expand on the importance of branding and marketing. Just a few things that I want to add here. An essential part of marketing is to provide corporate leaders with a tool to forecast and predict market realities and to adjust the management systems of those organizations to address some of those predictable changes in the market. So, marketing is a very dynamic platform. And again, if you are not leveraging these tools into your business, is another reason why your business is likely to fail. So, I really love those points, Frank. What I want to do now, as promised, I want to expand a little bit on the elements of branding and marketing. I want to focus more specifically on brand visibility. So, as we look at brand visibility, there's a couple of things that I want you to take note of. I will talk now about the brand. What is it that you need to understand about the brand as you take steps to bring visibility to what you're doing? I will talk about the audience. What are those important things that you need to understand about the audience before you embark on your visibility campaign? And last but not least, I will talk about the media and what are those things that you need to understand about the media before you embark on the brand visibility. Media, if you don't understand it, you can be spending money here and not achieving the objective. Well, I'll get into that now. Now, one of the first things that you need to understand when you're focusing on the brand is to recognize that the brand is not necessarily for you. So that brand has must have relevance to what I call your MVTM. Your MVTM in this case is your minimum viable target market or your most viable target market. Now, how do you know that the products or services that you're innovating and introducing to the market, how do you know its relevance to your minimum viable target market or your most viable target market? If you can recall, at the beginning of this program and the presentation, I emphasized the importance of the brand manager and the brand leader being in that position of strength to collect sensitive data, analyze sensitive data, leverage sensitive data, and mitigate sensitive data to help that business to make informed and educated decision when it comes to brand development. So to achieve this objective, again, I want to emphasize this. Building a brand is not just building a brand. You're right. You don't pull thoughts out of the air and simply go and build the brand. You have to be analytic. You must be analytic. If you wasn't listening to the program yesterday, Frank spoke a lot about analytics yesterday. In this particular case, you need to be analytical. Understanding your ideal client is going to be playing a tremendous role in influencing how that brand should be built. You see, one of the things that I find happens a lot, many rising stars in business, you build a brand, you offer a service, but then you don't know your ideal client. But still, you are annoyed when you are not getting sales conversion. You're not getting, you're not generating new leads. And again, this is why I'm speaking about the art and science of marketing, the art and science of sales. You need to understand this, or at least to ensure that you have someone on your side that can help you make these informed business decisions. This is the absence of this is another reason why your business is going to fail. But think about it in another way, that before you innovate products and services, you've interfaced with the market, and you know the market, you know their pain point, you know their emotional triggers, as Frank was just talking about, and you use all of these factors to produce a product that lives up to the expectations of this ideal client. What's likely to happen here? They are likely to respond and show interest in that product because you're using data to inform the product development process. You're using information, market intelligence to inform the service offer process. So as you develop the brand, I want you to keep this in mind. The second step that I'm going to go to is your audience. Again, you want to take the time to understand your audience, because the other thing that we see happens is that you innovate a product, you provide in a service, and you don't know the ideal client. The ideal client has unique characteristics, and you need to know it. Because in the absence of you understanding the client unique characteristics, you can innovate, you can provide, and still fail. And what I want to do is to spend some time going through some of these characteristics to better help you to understand it. The characteristics are generally referred to as understanding the client based on demographics, understanding the client based on psychographics. Frank just spoke about the emotional side, emotional psychographics, and understand the client based on geographic. But I'm going to take away all of the intellectual abstract from this presentation, and I'm going to try to break it down here for you, because you need to understand the ideal client based on essential characteristics. Characteristic one, you want to be certain that you have access to that client. Because very often we see that we have great producers, you produce the product, but because you're small, all right, you don't know exactly how to reach strong buyers. All right. You don't have the value chain set up to ensure that your services, your products can reach across border. You're set up to operate your local operation, but you may have persons nationally that making demand for your product. You can't reach them. You don't have access to them because of perhaps road infrastructures, transportation infrastructures, and all of those factors. You want to know all of this because if you produce a product or build a brand to provide a service and the ideal client is inaccessible, there lies a challenge. So these are characteristics that you need to pause and really think about because these are real challenges that businesses are faced with. In the agriculture sector, we hear things that, hey, small agricultural producers, they are producing the product, but then because of road terrains, they can't get the product out in time. That's a major challenge. So you need to see all of this before you actually get into it because all of the monies invested in crop production can go to waste. Next characteristic that you need to look at. You want to be certain that the demographic or target market that you are targeting is viable. And viability is evaluated based on a number of factors. All right. But you want to be certain that it's viable. And how you put yourself in that position to predetermine the viability of the market. Again, demographics analysis is what will help you to understand the income earning ability of your clients. And because you understand this, you are able to do perhaps some analysis in terms of disposable income available to invest in certain products and services. I'm not going to go into the technical analysis here, but you need to get, if you don't have, a good marketing representative on your side that can do these clinical analysis that will help you and your business to make better, smarter business decisions to drive the business success. Divorced from this, the business again can fail. It's not just about having a good product and going visible. What I'm talking about here is positioning the brand to go visible. But as you position the brand to go visible, there's a number of things that you need to understand. One second. There's a number of things that you need to understand about the client before you go visible because your advertising dollars could be wasted. So we are doing a clinical analysis of the client. The next thing that you want to look at here as you look at characteristics of the client, the audience, is urgency. Is there urgency and immediacy for the products or services that you're going to be offering? You want to know this because urgency and immediacy influence demand curves. Demand curves gives you the data that tells you the business potential to cash flow based on demand curves. Again, if you're not doing this analysis, you might be innovating products and services that the public is saying, well, I can wait 6 months for this. The next 6 months, I'm going to go for this. Or they might be saying, well, I got to save up the monies, because it's not a viable market. What percentage of the market is not viable? So when Frank and I and our team talk about market intelligence and marketing, this entire ecosystem is what comes to bear. And if you don't know it as a rising star in business, you owe it to yourself to associate yourself with the quality people and personnel, the mentor, the coach, the sponsor, the supportive community, all of which we are, to help you navigate these business processes. The last concept I'm going to look at here is what we call the ability and willingness to pay. These are characteristics of the ideal client that you need to study. Because guess what? You can provide quality products and quality services, but then at the end of the day, you can access the client. You're reaching an urgent and immediate need, but then you recognize the client don't have the ability and the willingness to pay. What happens to you in this case is, in this case, all of your investment dollar goes to waste if you're not innovative and creative, if you can't get out and negotiate to help represent that client. All right. So these are important concepts that you need to understand. And again, everything about marketing, it's about collecting data. It's about analyzing data. It's about leveraging data. It's about mitigating data to help the business to make informed and educated decision. So when we talk about marketing, it's all about being market oriented, market sensitive before you're market responsive. Most people, a lot of rising star in business, you're market responsive before market oriented and market sensitive. So your response doesn't reach the specific needs of the ideal client, or the response doesn't deliver cash flow because the ideal client is not in the position of strength, or they are not able and willing to invest in your products and services. But you didn't know that because you were in the response mode. All right. So you need to do the diagnostic before you prescribe. So this is as much that I'm going to say on this particular point for now. But when I come back, you see, just like I'm holding, you know, branding to a high standard, marketing to a high standard, I'm going to hold the media to a high standard. So when I come back, I will do a deep dive into the media, because everything I've just said, perhaps you're doing all of this. You research your brand, all right, you develop a strong brand, you have a strong marketing platform that is doing everything that I'm talking about before you get visible. But guess what you forget to do? You forget to assess the media effectiveness and the media effective use. And if your advertising content is being placed into media to get the visibility, the reach, the impact, the client conversion, the cash flow optimization, the confidence, trust, and credibility that you want, if the analysis is not being done and the media outlet is non-aligned to the objectives that you want to achieve, your advertising dollars can go down the drain and it can affect the business seriously. So I'll talk about that when I come back. So I'll now pass you over to Frank, so Frank can expand on some of these areas. Frank, all to you, my friend. You're muted. Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
hear me
thank
now.
you, thank you. All right.
Welcome, my friend.
The You always have to know that branding and marketing are two essential components of any successful business strategy. Branding is a process of creating a unique identity and creating a unique image for a product, service, or company in the minds of consumers, that is. It goes beyond just having a logo or a catchy slogan. It's about creating that perception, that emotional connection with target audience. While on the other hand, marketing is a process of promoting, selling, and distributing products or service to customers. Marketing involves various strategies and tactics to reach and engage with your target audience. What is the importance of the integration of the two? For maximum impact, branding and marketing should work hand in hand. A strong brand provides a foundation for effective marketing campaigns, while marketing efforts reinforce and build upon the brand identity. Consistency in messaging in the visuals and the customer's experience across all touch points will help in building trust, will building loyalty among all the customers. So branding shapes how customers perceive your business, while marketing is a strategic implementation of tactics to promote your brand, products, or services. Both are essential for creating a strong presence in market and building a loyal customer base. I went through the key aspects of branding, where there's brand identity or brand values, brand voice, your target audience, brand experience. But for just a couple of minutes, let me say that brand identity includes logo, color scheme, typography, and overall visual elements that represent your brand. Once you have consistency across all these elements, it is crucial for building a brand recognition. Consistency is a must. Your brand values are the beliefs and principles that your brand stands for. This could be commitment to sustainability, commitment to innovation and customer services, a lot more. You have the brand voice, which is a tone and style of communication used in marketing materials, social media posts, customer interaction, etc. All these should reflect the personality of your brand, which is a voice of your brand. Your target audience, you got to understand your target market because it's essential for effective branding. Your brand has got to resonate with the values, the needs, and preferences of your ideal customers. The brand has an experience itself because every interaction a customer has with your brand will shape their perception. This will include the customer service, how you package, their website usability, and even the ambiance of physical stores. And the key competence of marketing is in marketing research, marketing strategy, how you advertise, content marketing, digital marketing, your PR, sales and promotion. For the market research, you got to understand the market landscape. You got to understand the customer needs, who are the competitors and the trends that is crucial for developing effective marketing strategy. When we talk about marketing strategy, it's basically the overall plan that outlines your goals, your target audience, your messaging, and channels to reach your audience. And this includes both short term and long term plans. What about advertising? Those paid promotions through the channels such as TV, radio, the print media, the online ads, social media ads, etc. Why do you advertise? Is that you intend to reach a broader audience, so you will increase your customers portfolio. What is the content of your marketing? That involves creating valuable, relevant, and consistent content that will attract, not only attract, but remain a clearly defined audience. And this also will include blogs, videos, podcasts, social media posts, etc. Your digital marketing is where you use digital channels such as your social media, your email, your search engine optimization, your search engine marketing, your pay per click, your PPC, advertising to reach and engage with all those audience online. You need the PR to manage your public image of the brand through the media relations, again, the press releases, those events, and other communication strategies, sales and promotion. Do you offer discounts? Do you offer promotions? Do you have special deals to incentivize purchases and drive sales? Now, all these are a combination that will help your business to be sustainable, to expand, to grow. And once you're thinking marketing, once you're thinking branding, The tool, the combination will help you to establish yourself in the landscape of business, in the world of business. So think marketing, think branding, think marketing, whichever format you decide to sell. Always remember to have a mentor that will help you with them. Thank you, Gary.
All right, Rich here. I like how Frank would have re-emphasized some of the essential elements of branding, some of the essential elements of marketing. Again, I'm trusting that you're taking some notes and you're taking away from this information. And in the event that you're a rising star in business and you need this type of support to move your business forward, I want to encourage you to reach out to us. All right. Now, again, today's program comes to you with the kind compliments of the Business Success Blueprint. If you look behind me, it's a project and it's a very unique project. And I want you, it's a free program. So I want you to go right now and press on this website, and you will be able to register for this program. Now, again, I just want to quickly walk you through some of the benefits of this program. Now, when you go to the website, one of the first thing that you will see is 1 degree to success. The second item that you will see is business success blueprint. Now, what is the business success blueprint? One of the questions that many rising stars in business have been asking, they ask if there is really a proven steps, if there are proven steps to guarantee business success. So over many years, we have done this research. And after that research, we are now presenting to you actual data that will help to influence your business success. The very first concept that you will be introduced to, a free program, is what is the proactive leaders ecosystem. Now, when we look at the organization chart represents strategic, tactical, and operational leaders. What these programs will do, it will position you to help these leaders to become critical thinkers. So they're able to function in the organization at their best to drive the business success, optimize the business cash flow, and leapfrog the growth of the business. Along with this, you will also learn what is the influencers ecosystem. Again, if you're doing business and you do not understand what is the influencer ecosystem and how to incorporate personal branding into social media visibility, you are leaving not just the crumbs on the table, but perhaps more than half of your cake on the table. The influencer ecosystem will help you to understand this. Again, it's a free program. You will also learn elements of capital market. As a rising star in business, you may need access to capital. We are in that position of strength to help you get access to capital. So if you're in the US, 50 states, you need access to capital. We're going to introduce you to our BFCs, and they're going to talk to you about debt, equity, credit, creative financing, and hard money lending. You will get access to capital to move your vision forward. So when you come into this program, you get registered for this program. All of this is going to be some of your takeaway. Now, when you go to the website, www.bestsellerportal.org, and you see what is on the screen right now, all you need to do, if you can see I'm moving the mouse on this image, all you need to do is to press this image. Now, when you press this image, it will take you straight to that location where you need to register for this program. It's a free program. So what is holding you back from getting registered? Nothing but yourself. So if you want to grow and take your business to another level of development, I do encourage you to go to this website, bestsellerportal.org, press on this link, Business Success Blueprint, get registered. All right. Now, coming back to today's discussion, again, I want to thank Frank. I just can't wait to get his new book Cardinal's book is going to give a lot of insight into some of these things that we talked about. So great share, my friend. Now, we're talking here about accountability and branding and marketing, and with the media here in particular that I'm going to be diving into. So you can spend so much of time building a strong brand using all the techniques and strategies I've just talked about, but you can have slippages when it comes to media and media placement. And that's the last thing that you want to have happen, because you're going to lose hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars here. Let me explain why. When I look at the media, there's a couple of questions I'm asking myself. I'm asking myself the media effectiveness, and I'm going to narrow media effectiveness to a couple of things. One, I'm going to narrow it to its local reach, its national reach, its regional reach, and its international reach. I'm going to narrow it to this. Now, you need to understand this, because this is talking about the effectiveness of the media outlet to help you reach geography. You may have a brand and you don't want that brand to be local, you want it to be national or regional or international. Is the media effective enough to get you there? The next thing that I'm asking about the media, I'm asking about the media effective use. Again, I'm going to narrow the effective use to a couple of things. What data does that media have to help me to reach what I call my specific audience base? I need to know that in placing my advertising dollars into the media, I can reach I can appeal to my specific audience. Why? Because there's some predictable outcome that I'm looking for. And what are those predictable outcome for placing the ad in the first place? I'm placing the ad because I want my brand to be visible. And the media outlet plays a tremendous role in this regard. I want to reach the ideal client. I want to make impact. I want to convert. I want to cash flow optimize. I want to build confidence and trust and credibility. Can the media, based on its effective use, enable me to achieve that? Now, there's so much more to look at here, and I encourage you to go to the same website, bestsellerportal.org, and get my books, Master the Sales Communication Process. It goes deeper into this. Now, let me pause a little bit and expand on the media, because I want you to be very clear about what I'm talking about here when we talk about medium. The media can fall into a couple of categories. There's what we call the mass media. And when we're talking about mass media, three medium falls into this platform. You have the radio, you have television, and you have newspaper. So the question you want to ask yourself, or the question I've just asked, you want to apply this across the mass media ecosystem. Is the mass media, radio, television, newspaper, are they able to put you in contact with your ideal client so as to help you to get the visibility, to reach the impact, achieve the impact, and to client convert, to cash flow optimize? These are standards that we want the media in of itself to deliver to you, the advertisers. And if you cannot measure this, you have challenge. Let me do a deep dive into this also, because there's a number of things that you need to consider when you're going after visibility. Because if you're going after visibility without understanding what I'm talking about, you are possibly hemorrhaging your dollars. So you're reducing your profits wastefully, and there are smarter ways in which you can do this. You need to look at the media effectiveness, and the media effective use. This goes deeper than this, but I'm going to look at these two for today. Now, as we look at mass media, we want to do the mass media analytics. All right, we want to do the mass media analytics. So the first standard I'm going to hold as I do the analytics that I'm going to be looking at, is mass media doing research on everything that I've just talked about? Are they doing regular research? Are they updating their information as to the audience base and the reach of the communication channel, and how the channel is designed through its program content design to impact my ideal client? Do they have data on that? If not, they have a challenge because your advertising dollars can be wasted. Again, this is the reason why we emphasize, even in the media, we need to hold media outlets to the standard where we know that they're collecting data, they're analyzing data, they're leveraging data into program content, they're mitigating the data to help their audience and the advertisers to achieve the objective. If this is not being done, it means that there are weaknesses. The next concept that I want to look at is content creation. While content creation can be looked at from two standpoints, you, the advertiser, produce your content and perhaps place it based on the media ability to appeal to a specific audience, or the media in of itself is producing these content and all you're doing is placing your ads. These are important things that needs to be looked at, because when the wrong content is designed and it's not helping you to achieve your objective, it's become wasteful spending. Content creation should also take into consideration also your advertising content. The next concept that I want to look at here, as you produce the content, you have to look at the content placement. You just don't place the ad any old place. You place the ad where it makes sense. Just like how I'm emphasizing make academic make sense, the same I'm going to emphasize make your advertising placement make sense. Because if your advertising placement don't make sense, you're wasting your money. Now, a smart way to make your advertising dollars make sense, there's a concept that we have developed that we call the DAGMAR. DAGMAR, DAGMAR. What exactly does that mean? It means measure advertising goal. You want to measure the advertising goal, all right, for measured, sorry, define advertising goal, define the advertising goal for measured advertising results. So you first of all define your advertising goal and you want to measure the results. And some of the results that you want to be seen at the end of the day, again, is visibility, is reach, is impact, is client conversion, is cash flow optimization, is confidence, trust, and credibility. Can you measure all of this when you're placing ads in the traditional mass media? Now, the mass media is not the only media. You have the mass media, you have social media, you have the metaverse, and you have independent communication channel. The same standard, the same principle of analyzing the media effectiveness and effective you should be applied to all of these media outlets. The challenge that we have with mass media, we have to ask ourselves, how current is mass media with these analytics? And this is important when you are placing monies into advertising. You have to ask yourself this. So we need to hold the media, radio, television, and newspaper, the mass media, to a high standard. Now, from the research that we are doing, we are seeing tremendous weaknesses in mass media. In certain types of the social media, we're seeing tremendous strengths. And I will talk about the strengths shortly. But let me just emphasize this. When the media is not set up to deliver on some of your predictable outcomes, visibility, reach, impact, client conversion, the rest, guess what happens? You have ineffective advertising budgetary allocation. You have the waste of spending. You have the inability to generate new leads. You have the inability to cash flow your business and your brand. And you have frustration and stress. And then you have the loss of business. All of this happens because you made an emotional decision in investing your dollars into mass media. You cannot afford to make emotional decisions. Your decisions must be driven by data, by facts. You need to challenge mass media, the social mass media, radio, television, and newspaper, and even some of the social media that don't have this data to help you, the advertiser, to help you, the rising star in business, to make an informed and educated decision about how you are spending your advertising dollar. You're not making money to waste money. You're making money to invest money to amplify cash flow into the organization. And if the media outlet can't give you that data, you just challenge them. Perhaps they need to come to us now so we can help them collect this data, analyze the data, leverage the data, and mitigate the data in a way that makes sense to advertisers. So I'm going to pause here for now, Frank, and when I come back, in my closing remarks, I will talk about social media and the tremendous potential that social media has to give businesses the tremendous competitive advantage to win. Frank, all to you, my friend. You mute, Frank.
I was enjoying your thing on the media and mass
No,
media.
yeah, we're talking about standard here. We holding everybody to high standard. So,
You should,
we
yeah,
don't we don't pick up money in these
and
guava season, right?
we need to be held to a high standard. And the thing about I just want to close off here about the proactive leadership ecosystem.
Yeah.
And you need to understand, listeners, that this involves understanding, it involves implementing and a continuously evolving a comprehensive approach to leadership that emphasizes foresight, emphasizes adaptability, and the cultivation of a thriving organizational culture. And the key takeaway here, I can't dive into it because of time, is of course you need to understand the ecosystem. And then you have to implement the proactive leadership. You need to cultivate a thriving organizational culture. You need to evolve with the ecosystem. And so mastering the proactive leadership ecosystem is an ongoing journey that requires dedication, it requires flexibility, and also a deep commitment to the organization's purpose and values. So by understanding the ecosystem, implementing proactive leadership practice, cultivating a thriving culture, and evolving with the changing landscape, every leader can steer their organization towards a sustained success in a dynamic world. And my book that's coming has some writings on sustaining the organization, the leaders' organization in this dynamic world. So stay tuned. Over to you, Gary.
All right. Thanks for that share, Frank. Quickly, because we're about to wrap up here, but I must help you to know this. Social media is more effective in advertising based on the research that we are doing. And this may not be universal globally. But let's take, for example, I'm going to talk about one social media platform, the YouTube statistics. YouTube today is one of the strongest social media platform that we have. There's a search engine optimization also. Today it has over 2 billion consumers on the platform. Now, what this platform allows is for you to know your viewers by numbers. They help you to understand your viewers based on the watch time. They help you to know the gender of your audience. They help you to understand the geography of your audience. They help you to understand repeat viewers of your content. Now, all of this is data. As an advertiser, as a business owner, you need data to make informed and educated business decision. And this is one of the platforms that allows you to extract the data. So as you develop your content production to appeal to the audience base, you have the data that is informing your business and your advertising decisions. So there are certain social media platforms that really is ahead of the game, and they give business owners, advertisers, an opportunity to do their job more effectively. Because when advertisers are going to be held also to high standard, because some advertising agency, you are paid also based on results, depending on how you negotiate your contracts. And having these metrics is vital to how you spend the advertising dollar, to how you innovate advertising content to achieve visibility, reach, impact, client conversion, cash flow optimization, confidence, trust, and credibility in the eyes of the public. In closing, I want to say this. We have been using social media to achieve our business objectives. And what we have been able to achieve in months, we haven't achieved in years using some other platforms, mass media. So I can only share my experience here with you and allow, and again, as I interface with others who are on some of these platforms, we can share those experiences too. Now, what we can do, we can help your business to build out a strong social media presence that can put you in front of not millions, but billions of consumers that can become your striving consumers. The beauty about all of this too, I didn't list this in some of the benefits. As you begin to build rapport with your audience across social media, these are your audience. You have direct contact with them when you build out the system right. And if the mass media is not built out right, they will never give you direct access to your potential consumers. So I'm going to pause here for now. Again, I want to encourage persons to get to the bestseller portal, get registered for the business success blueprint. And as Frank would have said it, the Proactive Leaders ecosystem is a unique platform and you don't want to miss out on it. It's a free program. So go there now and get registered. Frank, just your closing remarks before we get out of here, my friend.
Yes, we have to always remember um, to have what is called brand accountability. And at its core, brand accountability can be seen as a brand's unwavering dedication to assuming responsibility for every decision, the deeds, and subsequent ramifications. It's about being liable to many stakeholders, including but not limited to customers, employees, investors, and society. I remember in 2015, Volkswagen was ensnared in a scandal for manipulating emission tests, and the company undertook full responsibility in the aftermath, pledging billions for rectifications and committed to electric mobility. And this demonstrates an acute sense of brand accountability. So it means to be accountable as a brand, but in the grand tapestry of branding, your accountability translates to a brand's courage to recognize blunders, mend them, and extract lessons It's an avenue for brands to transparently relay what are their motives, what are their actions, and what are their outcomes, thereby building bridges of trust. At the end of the day, you need to be accountable. You need to have trust. You need to have integrity. All right. So that's my closing remark to you this morning.
All right, thanks for that share, Frank. Accountability. All right, with that being said, I want to thank the audience from across the world. And the analytics is showing that we have an audience base from over 50 different countries. I want to thank over 30,000 new subscribers that have been subscribing to our program. And I still want to say this, well, we are happy that we would have attracted 30,000 new subscribers over the last 2 months. I'm fully aware that we still don't have 25% of those who are viewing the program who are subscribing to the program. So the other 70 plus persons who are not subscribing, I want to encourage you to subscribe. Perhaps you might have been looking and now remember to subscribe. I want to encourage you to subscribe because your subscription will definitely help the algorithm. And I want to show you as you subscribe, you can send into the chat how you're benefiting from the program, what are some of the contents you want us to bring, and we will be so happy to bring those content to you once it is in alignment with business. For all the hundreds and thousands of subscribers who are always telling us how they're enjoying the program, I want to say a big shout out to you. We could not have do this without you. Your involvement in this process is a big motivator to us. So keep doing the good work that you're doing. And remember, do be safe and do take care of yourself. I want to thank Frank also for always taking the time to be here to come and share to the audience. And of course, you can see his level of commitment to ensure that he give business leaders information. So if he's doing this, all right, if he's doing this daily, can you imagine what's going to be in that book? A lot of information is going to be in that book that he's going to be bringing out soon. So as soon as that book is out, I will let you guys know so you guys can get on board. And perhaps you could even start to, contribute to that book, purchase the book even before we get to the mass launch. But we'll talk about it some more, Frank.
Okay.
All right, with that, friends, I want to say have a great day and we'll do this again tomorrow.